quote is the customer is always right in matters of taste.
Exactly.
Customer is not always right.
And
There's
the
a
worst
story
are the
about that.
last
Yeah,
the
there's a
worst
story
are the
about that.
last minute customers.
There's a classic story about that, and I think it's with Macy's or another U.S. big chain like from New York, and it's about how this guy comes in and he's pissed off because these tires he bought there and complains and on and on and on, and in the end, they call the manager. The manager gives him his money back for his tires and leaves, and then the manager and they look at each other and he goes, we've Macy's or whatever the retail chain was, in 100 years we've never sold tires. The guy's insisting he bought them there and he wanted his money back. He wasn't happy with the product. And they
That
gave
was
him his money back.
I know. It was A&S. A&S in the United States. When I worked for A&S, this was when Federated Department Stores was still available, which Macy's took that over. But before they took it over, that was the story A&S always told the employees. We take back anything. My first year with A&S, that was the thing in the trainings. And that's the story they told everybody. So we didn't sell the tires, but we looked it up, what the price, and gave the person a refund.
It's crazy.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, we're always quote. We're always quote. And then when I was working for A&S, the way they work the returns, versus what they do today in the retail stores, we would have a table in the middle. Like back then, I worked in the women's clothing department. They call it modern sportswear, and they put a table in the middle, and the managers were helmed that table. And of course, my register was the closest to them, and I would be the one issuing the returns. I was like, son of a bitch, I ain't making any, because I was on commission at that time. And I was like, I ain't making any money today. But they would, there were people that would come in. One woman came in with a wedding dress, and I kid you not, lasagna stained wedding dress.
Okay.
I mean, really, I'm talking that they literally the pot was just poured on her. It wasn't white anymore. Let's put it that way. That's how bad it looked. It was dirty, dingy, and full of tomato sauce. And
They
it
took
just
it
like
back.
they took it back. Took it back and gave her full price. This was.
Have y'all ever refused to serve a customer?
2000? That what?
Have y'all ever refused? Did y'all ever refuse to serve a customer?
I've had that happen a couple of times.
It's like there was one time I was working. I was a bagger one day, and this store was in range of about 3 elementary schools, then like a couple of miles of 3 elementary schools. So like between like 2 and 4, we were super busy. We'd get super busy, and like the morning shift would get off around 2. So a lot of times, our manager would be in the cash office counting tills, and this guy comes in, pays $100 bill for a like $5 little lunch meal special box thing. And I was bagging, and the cashier was a little girl, like barely like 5 feet tall, 17-year-old, first real job. She only been there for like 2 weeks at this time, and she doesn't have enough change in her till, so she calls the cash office and asks for more change. And the lady in cash office says, "I have open tills on the counter. I cannot leave this room with them here." So we're waiting for her to finish so she can bring us more change. And this guy starts having a fit, starts hollering, "Baba, you're wasting my time." At one point, he tries to reach into the till to grab his money back, which is a big no-no. And I look, and I can tell it's really upsetting our the cashier. And I say to him, I said, "Sir, it'll just be." Before I can finish my sentence, he looks at me and says, "Shut the hell up." I'm like, I'm going to go out and get carts. I'm not dealing with him. And I come back in with carts about 10 minutes later, and she's standing. She's cashier's just crying, starts hyperventilating. I literally have to pick up this girl because she starts having a panic attack. I have to carry her to the cash office, and her grandfather has to come pick her up and take her to the hospital.
Mm.
Fast forward a few nights, I'm closing cashier. I'm the only cashier except for the self checkout. And a guy walks up with a cart with groceries in his cart, and it's the same guy. I look at him and says, "No, sir, you go through the self checkout." Because he looks at me, sees me, and starts laughing. "Oh, you wanted to kill me that day." I said, "No, sir, self checkout." I flat out refused to serve him after the verbal abuse that he gave me and my coworker that day. And our manager comes up and asks, like, "What's going on?" I tell him. He's like, "Okay, I understand." But I've told that story to other people. "Oh, you had no right to tell him no." Yeah, I had every right to fucking tell him no. You start cussing at me, threatening me, I ain't gonna give you shit. You tell me to shut the fuck up, I ain't gonna piss on you if you're on fire.
Yeah, I've had managers that have defended the employees. They said, "Excuse me, you don't speak to my employee that way. Have a nice day. You know, we can't serve you anymore. Have a good day." Then
Yeah,
one year, when I was working the Christmas rush, Christmas Eve, and we're trying to handle the lines. This is the shoe department, and my manager comes over and he says, "Listen,
ooh,
Al,
sneakers.
um, go over here and basically this person right here, the person hold up your shoe, hold up your shoe, miss. She's the last customer you're going to have. That's it. Anybody comes over, that's it. No, we're not taking anybody else." So we're doing it. We're going through the customer. Then like five more people come across and said, "Sorry, folks, please do not get online. We're told we cannot assist you right now this evening." And they start yelling at us. My manager comes over and he's like, "Excuse me." Said, "Let me explain something to you. I want to send my people home on time to spend Christmas with their families. You got out early and on time, didn't you? Because you're here shopping with us here. Now, we'll gladly assist you the next time you're in here the day after Christmas. But right now, I need to clean up, which will be here for another hour, and send my people home promptly so they can spend Christmas with their families." And then that was it. Basically, we finished off.
Yeah, that's what people don't leave when it's time. We have to clean up. We have to do shit for the next day.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
Do you know how many
people are
shoes
so
are on the floor on a
self-absorbed.
Christmas Eve? Christmas
Yeah,
Eve. Do you know how many shoes have hit the floor? It is a nightmare in itself. Anyone out there that is looking to get into retail, one department to stay the hell away from is
just stay out of
women's
retail.
shoes. Stay out of retail,
Just
period, but on there, but
yeah,
stay out of women's shoes.
I'll never go back to retail. The
Neither will
abuse
I.
that I got, and people who have not worked retail, they're like, "Oh, you're just being snobby. You just don't want to work." I'm like, "No, I don't want to be. I don't put in a position where I'm going to be fucking abused, cussed at, and threatened on a daily basis, and have to literally clean up other people's shit." I will never forget this day as long as I live. I'm working at the grocery store, and this guy, it's me, the grocery manager, and another bagger. We're standing up there in the front of the store talking. It's slow, and this guy comes up and just white faced and shocked. He's like, I just don't get this. I don't understand how someone could do this." We're like, "Sir, so we thought it's like someone had died." He was so kind of flabbergasted and in shock. We're like, "Sir, what happened? What is everything okay?" He's like, just go to the bathroom, go to the men's room, go look in the stall." And we're like, "Oh shit." Literally.
Mm.
And it's like someone didn't sit on the toilet. They just stood up, bent over, and just let it
Oh, that
rip.
is, yeah. Was it the women's or the men's department? Let me guess. It was the
Men's.
women. Men's?
No,
Oh, that's a shocker on the men's. It's always every store that I've worked in. It's always been the woman's bathroom that gets like purged, till there's no tomorrow. It gets
and
punished.
I make a joke, and my manager's like, "Oh, sucks to be you right now." I'm like, "Shit." I'd get like my gloves and a mask and start wiping it all down. It's just people are fucking
Oh no, you
sick.
want crazy? Okay, here's crazy. Working in the shoe department. This is another company. I'm there putting the shoes out, and I see a mother and her child there, and the child's doing the pee-pee dance. And he's like, you know, that pee-pee dance the kids do, trying to hold, they're holding on to the junk, and you know, they say, I gotta go bathroom, ma.
Yeah,
It's gonna go.
yes.
And he goes like, and she goes, you're gonna have to wait. And they go around the corner. And I said, oh, they must be going to the bathroom. Next thing I know, I see a adult hand come around the corner, grab the garbage can. 2 seconds later,
Holy
all you're
shit.
hearing is psst into the garbage can. I call my manager. I'm like, you ain't going to believe this. She goes, oh, how disgusting.